how to get this in here so that it's not... I don't know what I did to my tripod. There's so many different like ways to turn it that I'm like... Usually I have it set up so that you guys can see my screen. And I've done something to it that I can't seem to figure it out. I've done something wrong, clearly. Shoot. Maybe if I turn... Oh, there we go. I figured it out. Okay, stand by. There we go. I think that'll work. All right, that should work. Let me... Oh, now you're turning around. Come on, tighten, tighten, tighten. I'm a mess. Let me see if that works. Can I turn you guys around? And yeah, that works pretty well. Okay. All right. I want to be able to show you guys my screen. And yesterday during my sale, it was giving me a little bit of trouble. So anyway, welcome to the Niknax coffee chat every Tuesday morning at 10:41. Good morning. So we talk about all things Niknax. We talk about what's coming up, what's happening, exciting things in the works. We talk about updates to district and all the fun things. So welcome, everybody. I'm just going to make sure that we have this turned over to subscribers only so we don't end up with any trolls in the chat. So give me 1 second to fix this. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Customize. Subscribers only. You have to be subscribed for 5 weeks to comment on YouTube. That's a rule. Automatic rule. 5 weeks. That should weed out some of the trolls. All right. Got my coffee this morning. It's the French vanilla. Love me some French vanilla. All right. So, let me see. Christina probably sent me notes. Fingers crossed. Let me see. Scroll. Oh, yes. We have them here. Okay, cool. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? All right. So, thank you everybody for being here. We have over 61,000 listings on Niknax. That's very exciting. Very exciting for our sellers and also our buyers. So if you are here on Niknax and you are a buyer, no, this is my same old office. But I think normally you guys see the black wall. I don't know why you're seeing my different artwork this morning. So that's exciting for buyers because most of our sellers accept reasonable offers. So if you see something you like around the marketplace, don't be afraid to send a reasonable offer. One statistic that I thought was really interesting is as sellers, I don't know if you knew about this feature, but you have the opportunity to send out offers to members who have liked your listings. So if say a random person on the market, say you have 3 likes, 3 loves on your listing, you have the opportunity to send out an offer to them. So for instance, say I have a vase priced for $600 and I lower it to $400. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lower the price on this. I have 3 people who like it. I'm going to send them an offer for $400 before I lower the price. So I'm going to give them first dibs. So I send out this offer. 30% of the time, I think is the statistic. Nobody from district is here to tell me differently. But I think the statistic is that 30% of the time, those offers are accepted. So that's really exciting. So if you didn't know that was a feature, it is a feature. One thing I learned from doing that is that you have to have offers turned on. So make sure that you have offers turned on to your listing. Because I don't turn offers on. That's just my thing because I always get really low ball offers because I have such a huge social media following. People are like, let's be funny and send her an offer of $1. So I just turn offers off. But but if you have offers turned on, you as the seller can send people who have loved your listing an offer before you drop the price. So it's like first dibs, like, oh, I'll give you an opportunity to buy it because you obviously love my listing. So that's something to consider. So we have 61,000 listings on Niknax. Another great thing about having 61,000 listings on Niknax is that the more listings we have, the more it catalogs with Google. So if you've been searching stuff on Google, you may notice some of the district listings popping up. That's because we have such a huge database. We have such a great database of listings to pull from. And the bigger our database, the more keywords we're using, the stronger it is, the more we're going to be visible on Google. So that's why I encourage you guys, that's why I have listings sitting out there I have high-end listings that are going to sit. I know they're going to sit, but you know what? Those are the listings that are being cataloged by Google because they're sitting. And I have the opportunity to be recognized over on Google if someone's looking for that specific listing. So that's why I put my high-end listings on Niknax. And I'm like, I'll just let this sit for a while because we are having that conversion. We are seeing conversions. We are seeing people who find our listings on Google, become a member, and then buy stuff. So it's happened. I mean, that's the thing that's happening on our marketplace, which is very exciting. So consider that when we have 61,000, when you're listing here, buy it now listings are just as important as live sales. I know we're in the summer slowdown. A lot of our buy it now listers who do the more traditional listings are feeling a little discouraged because of the summer slowdown. But those are my words of encouragement to all of you that we are being cataloged by Google. Don't be afraid to send out offers. They do work. And yeah, so there you have it. Yes, it is. You gotta love the summertime. So that's one thing to keep in mind. 61 plus thousand. We have 23,443 members as of the time that Christina sent me these notes. Very exciting. We're almost to 24,000 members. Now, I personally have been boosting some commercials over on YouTube and Instagram. So you guys know I receive a commission off of the sales here on Niknax. I'm taking that money and reinvesting it into the marketplace by running these commercials, trying to get people to notice Niknax. So we're putting out commercials, we're running them on Instagram and YouTube, trying to let people know about it, because as I've said before, I can only do so much, I can only tell so many people about it. Yes, I have a large following, but I need help. Like I need you guys to be casting to your social media. Even if you just have a Facebook page with your friends and family, you can cast to that, and then your friends know about it, your family knows about it, and they can talk about it, I do as much as I possibly can to get the word out, but you guys can help. You can help even if you have, 3 friends on Facebook. Tell those 3 friends about it. Casting is a huge thing, and it definitely helps get the word out. So I have been reinvesting that, some of the commissions that I get and posting commercials, hoping to get people to notice us. Hi, we're Niknax. We're over here. So hopefully it's, people are seeing. Hopefully we see the numbers continue to grow. We have 3,097 sellers. Yes, so we have over 650 applications, and I am continuing to go through applications. At this point, we have a lot of applications coming in, and I am going through them. I'm doing it myself. I've mentioned this in previous coffee chats. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I personally go through every single application. I haven't passed that off to anybody else. I'm personally going through them. And so I do that in my free time. that in my free time. So one of the things that is really important to me, and I was thinking about this the other day, is balance. It's very important in any platform or marketplace, and we've talked about this before, is the balance between buyers and sellers. If we have too many sellers and we don't have enough buyers, we're in trouble. So we have a lot of sellers who are interested in selling on Niknax, and as the marketplace owner, I'm trying to just keep a watchful eye on our balance. So when I see like, oh my gosh, we're doing really well as a marketplace, our numbers are growing, I think, we can accept some more sellers in. And that's when, you start to see our numbers grow again. It's not against anyone who's applied. It's not, I'm not like picking and choosing. I had somebody over on Facebook the other day, Christy, she called me what did she call me? A rich kid. I'm picking and choosing, and I'm just another rich kid. Christy, that wasn't very nice. And she didn't even have an application. It was very aggressive. I looked, she didn't have an application. So she told me she's gonna apply after her move. She's gonna reapply. So I'll have to look for her application. So So my point is, I don't want any of our sellers who are waiting to feel like I'm purposely ignoring you. That's not the point. This is what I was thinking about the other day is think of eBay. When eBay first came out, it was like nobody had ever heard of this concept before. It was this selling platform where you sell stuff online and people were like, what is this? Now eBay is one of probably the most successful platforms. Granted, they're a little behind the times with things, but I feel like the reason they're so successful is because it was a slow, gradual growth. They didn't just explode right off the bat because people were like hesitant. They'd never heard of it before. They were like, "What is this?" And so it was a gradual growth, and I feel like that's why it survived, and that's why it has lived as long as it has, and it continues to be one of the biggest, and one of the giants. And then you have Whatnot, which just came on the scene, exploded. Everybody wanted in on it. And I feel like, the numbers over there, maybe there's a little bit more sellers than there are buyers, at least in the vintage category. And I think that it's a little off balance. So it's very important to me to have balance. Balance is important. But if you're waiting to become a seller, please don't be discouraged because I am going through the applications, and I just want to make sure that we're growing it right. It's very important to me. So that's the first point that I have. Now I have lots more to get through. So. If anyone has any questions, I try to leave room or leave time for questions at the very end. So please, I'm not ignoring your questions, but if I don't get through my notes, I get really distracted with answering questions. So please, I'm not ignoring you. Okay. Okay, so this past week we did a little bit of a chat channel cleanup. I'm sure you noticed there was some shifting of the chat channels, and what we're trying to do with the chat channels is we're trying to streamline them a little bit. We're just trying to make them work better for the marketplace. I know you guys have probably noticed that the general chat has become it's mostly ads. Everybody's posting their ads in there. And so we had wanted to kind of get away from that. And so one thing we did was we tried to, okay, no more posting ads. But we were, the feedback on that was that, that you guys were seeing positive results from posting your ads. And so we reversed that decision. And we're trying to come up with solutions so that people who aren't posting ads are being seen and being heard. within the chat channels. So we may do some more like moving around, changing around. So keep an eye on that. Also, there's now some emojis over there that kind of highlight the important chats. So you'll see here, let me turn you guys around and show you what I'm looking at. My tripod is not friendly to me right now. Look at this, it's like going all over the place. Okay. So here you go. So here are our chat channels. This is the Niknax general chat. Here are the promotions that I was talking about. But I mean, it's not a bad thing. You know, this is previews from our sellers about the stuff that they're selling. Not only just, you know, the live trains and the live sales we have coming up. You know, we have sellers who are posting their buy it now listings in here, and it gives our members an opportunity to see, you know, okay, well, here we have Sierra Quality. This is what she's like. Look at all of this. And then you can click on her and you can follow her, you know, and you can see all of her. Then you can see all of her listings over. I mean, so this is a great tool. I feel like for, you know, if you're a member here, you can kind of see what Niknax is about. You can see all the listings here, which is fantastic. And then down here, we have frequently asked questions, which is something Mary's been working on. So here are some of our most asked questions on the marketplace. So for instance, how do I apply to become a seller? How do I join a marketplace? So here are some of our most frequently asked questions. Mary and I did chat a little bit about this. And at some point, once we have like the bulk of the frequently asked questions down in writing, I think we are going to open this up for questions, like people to ask questions. But we want to have this done first. So if you have a question, this is where you can go to hopefully find an answer to your question. And if you can't find it there, you can always post it in the general chat. Our sellers, in addition to our admins and our moderators, are always very helpful in answering questions. So we have Canadian seller, we have the seller guidelines. Seller guidelines are here. And every time there's an update to seller guidelines, we post an update to the seller guidelines. So you can find seller guidelines there. And then if you scroll all the way down, this is a lot of our train stuff. Trains are a huge part of Niknax. So the train stuff is mostly designated on the bottom here. So you'll see, you know, the Train Gazette, which is updates, Fast Friday Freight, Color Carnival, which is coming up this weekend. Super excited about that. And then, you know, the upcoming trains, the summer vacation event. So all of that is right here. But we put emojis to try to like designate what is happening and what to look for. So, so there you go. That's that. Now let me turn you guys back around. So that was the chat channels. Adjusted the live selling guidelines. Did we adjust the live selling guidelines, Christina? Part of that we just, I think this is in reference to this past weekend. We had 2 trains running at the same time. And one thing we noticed was when 2 trains were running simultaneously, correct me if I'm wrong, Christina, but I think this is what it's in reference to. 2 trains happening at the same time. And one thing we noticed was some sellers were scheduling at the same time. And then there were issues with double booking and cancellations, and it just became really hectic. So if you're going to sign up for a train, our thought was to say, you know, if you sign up for one train, you can't sign up for the other. But I mean, that's micromanaging, and we don't want to do that. We just want you guys to be aware. Just be aware, you know, if you have a time slot in a train, put it in your calendar. I mean, I'm looking for my phone. I have it right here. I live by my calendar in my phone. So I know, like, oh my gosh, I have a Niknax event at this time, at this day, you know? So if another train pops up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that time slot. Oh wait, no, I already have one on this time at this day. So just be aware, you know, and my suggestion to you is if you have ones, don't pick the next slot in the next train because you have to go live like a few minutes early. So it's not, I don't know, I don't think it's possible to jump from one train to the next when you have back-to-back time slots. So please be aware. just be conscientious. I realize that things come up, and there's all, like, I don't want to come down on you guys. Like, there's always genuine reasons for having to cancel a time slot or do this and that. But for reasons such as this, that, you should be looking ahead, and you should be aware, like, oh, I already have a time slot. You should be aware of that. But there, I mean, like, if there's an emergency in the family, if some, like, for instance, Auntie Q lost power. I mean, that's a legitimate, like, oh, I have no power. Obviously can't, so things like that. Obviously, we're going to have to fix it. We're going to have to come up with stuff. So just be aware of that. Another guideline we put in place recently was the drinking. Was the drinking. And this is targeted at no one in particular. I enjoy a glass of wine. While I'm selling stuff. Trust me. I've been known to get on with Jacob and, drink a glass of wine and sell some stuff. And nothing like specific happened. But we kind of wanted to get ahead of it before something did happen. Because we were noticing, like, this could become an issue. So we're kind of like trying to, get ahead of it before something crazy happens. Sellers and buyers. Yeah, don't be drunk buying stuff. I mean, then you're like feeling regret the next day, So it applies to sellers and buyers. Let's say that. I have gotten a few on eBay, like way back in the day, where it was like, I'm so sorry, I was drunk when I bought this. And I'm like, I'm so sorry you bought it and now it's yours. That's not a real excuse. So we've kind of adapted the same. At first we were like, so this is just an example of how we want your feedback, and we want the community's input on things. So for instance, the chat channels, you guys were like, oh, but I really am seeing a positive impact from posting my live sales and my items in the general chat. And so we adjusted, and we were like, okay, well then let's, put things back the way they were. We'll come up with another solution. We want to hear back from the community. The same goes for the drinking. At first we're like, no drinking, stop it. And then we got a little feedback, and it was like, you know what? Let's adapt the same policy as Whatnot, which is drink responsibly. Don't be sloppy. Don't be, drunk. If that is the case, if we're like, moderators, admins, we have the power to end a sale. We've never done it, but we have the power in the back end to click a big red X. Sienna, she's always like, don't hit the X. Don't, when she's like explaining it to us, she's like, okay, but don't hit the X, because it just ends the sale that we're in the back end. So we never hit the X, but there is an X. There's a big red X. And if you hit the big red X, it ends the sale. So if we do see like somebody, it's a big red X. So if we do see, something getting out of hand, somebody, sloppy, even if they're not drinking on camera, but something doesn't seem right, we're going to end it. I mean, it's not only a bad look for Niknax, it's a bad look for the seller. And it, it should be embarrassing. At the end of the day, this is your job. This is your job. Whether you're doing it part-time, whether you're doing it full-time, this is your job. And you wouldn't go to work drunk, I would hope. And you should think of that. You should consider that. You wouldn't go to work drunk. So don't get drunk when you're selling. I mean, that's my advice to you. Because it's the look, it's the perception. So that's my advice. We're all adults. So just, don't get sloshed. But if it's a glass of wine and you're selling stuff, because I've thought about doing, we do coffee chats. I've thought about doing like a wine chat in the evenings. And so, that would be fun. And like, oh, let's get a glass of wine. Let's chat, friends chatting with a glass of wine. I don't see a problem with that. So, just keep that in mind. All right. So those were our updates to the guidelines. The first one wasn't really an update. It was just, be mindful when there's trains happening simultaneously. We haven't really had any, I think maybe we had one or two trains happening at the same time. So it hasn't really been like a huge thing. But it was really obvious this past weekend that there were some conflicts and stuff. So I wanted you to be aware of that. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to go over today. So the Fast Friday freight train is happening this Friday. The theme of it is colors. We're gonna do colors. This weekend is all about colors and rainbows and all of the beautiful, colorful, vibrant things. That's what this weekend is about. So on Friday, we are doing the Colortastic train. What? Vibrant? Did I say vibrate? No, you said vibrate, Christina. Vibrant. So it's gonna be all about colors this Friday. The freight train is always so fun. It's very fast paced. All of our sellers get the opportunity to showcase. What I like about this particular theme is it gives everyone the opportunity to interpret it how they would do it. Okay, so maybe glass is my passion. I can take this theme and I can interpret it in a thing that I love to sell, which is glass, or pretty much anything, pottery, if that's something you love, you can interpret the theme and sell something you love. So that's what's really fun about this theme. So Fast Friday Freight Train is going to be colors. Cats. Yes, colorful cats. I love it. And then we have the Color Carnival Niknax event this weekend. So over the summer, we've been doing 2 Niknax sponsored events every month. Our last event was paperweights, and it was amazing. And so the second event, that was earlier this month. Okay, so the second is going to be Color Carnival, and that is happening this weekend. So it's going to be like a huge weekend. I already have the banner up. I was so excited to make it because it's so colorful and fun. I've changed the Niknax Facebook page over, so it's just going to be all about colors, and it is happening Saturday and Sunday, and every seller gets 30-minute time slots, and it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited for this. And our sellers have the opportunity to either pick one color or multiple colors. Now, as far as our more traditional sellers who prefer to just do buy it now listings, we want you to get involved too. So what I started doing is creating tags and categories based on one color. So we have blue, red, orange, green, yellow, and over the weekend, we're just going to change it all to colors of the rainbow. So when you are tagging your items, you can tag them with these colors. There was a little bit of a glitch with District this morning as far as the back end with me tagging stuff, so I wasn't able to create the end of those tags this morning. So I'm hoping that by the end of the day, I will be able to complete that. But we are going to have those. My request for you is that if you have something that's like rainbow colored and it has a little bit of red in it, don't tag it red. I want the homepage to be like a rainbow. So if you have something that's like multicolored, maybe I'll create a tag I don't know. Maybe I'll create a rainbow tag. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I should create a rainbow tag. I might create a rainbow tag, but like use solid colors, because then at the end of the week, this weekend, it'll be like a complete rainbow on the homepage, which I think will be awesome. So for instance, like yellow, right? It's pretty much solid yellow, or we have green. But this is like multicolored. Is it purple? Is it green? I feel like this wouldn't really count. So that's kind of run that. You're so funny. So that's kind of like what I'm going for. That's kind of what I'm imagining. And I think it's going to look amazing. I'm so excited for this weekend. So we'll get that stuff tagged once I am able to create those tags. It's not a turtle. It's a peacock. Isn't it cute? It's Royal Covenant. This came out of the hoarder house. This is one of the items I kept from the hoarder house. This and the Lisa Larson. Um, yes, it's Royal Copenhagen. I love it. It's from Denmark. Isn't it cute? It's got a bird on it. All right, so on the 28th, we have a really exciting train happening as well. A Niknax sponsored train. It is the Meet Your Maker train. So we have an update since I announced the Meet Your Maker train. The Meet Your Maker train is in conjunction with the Handmade Marketplace, Mainly Made, which is my other marketplace. So we have two marketplaces at play here. We have Niknax and we have Mainly Made. I was made aware by district that we had the ability to raid between marketplaces, but it was all done on the back end when we came up with this idea for Meet Your Maker. Now, I was told yesterday that there is now a button. It's not a big red button, but there is now a button that we can turn on, and it links the two marketplaces for a duration of time. So that means that on the Meet Your Maker train, we can actually we can link the two marketplaces for an entire day, and we can go back and forth. Like originally it was just going to be one raid between the two, but now we can go back and forth. So it's something like, I don't know, I'm doing a Mainly Made coffee chat after this, and I just haven't scheduled it, but I'm going to be over on Mainly Made after this, and we can talk it through it. But originally I was going to be live on Niknax and then raid over into Mainly Made, and we were going to just have one raid. But I think what we can do is we can go back and forth, and we could really make like an event of it and have a whole lot of fun. So that is the Meet Your Maker train, and it is happening on the 4th Friday of the month, which is our handmade market. Every 4th Friday here on Niknax, the whole homepage will change to all handmade by our Niknax artists. So it's not just like, oh, I bought this thing and it's handmade. No, it has to be handmade by you to be on the homepage. That is the whole concept between the handmade market. So that is every 4th Friday. And that's going to be happening on the 28th. So yeah, what's really cool about that is then we can turn it off. And the reason we would turn it off is because when you see your list of people to raid, it doesn't say it doesn't say what marketplace they're in. So if we left it on all the time, it would get really confusing, because it would be like, oh, look, Candyland Curiosities is live, and you'd raid and then you'd be over in a different marketplace. So for that one day, I think we're going to turn it on. And in the future, we can turn it on and off and we can play with it. But for the time being, I think we'll just turn it on for special events until maybe we can figure out how to get it to show, okay, what marketplace are they in? So that's what we're going to do for Mainly Made Meet Your Maker. So exciting. Tutti Frutti train is coming up in July. That's going to be a blast. I've been buying so much fruit stuff. It's stupid. I'm like, oh, it is fruit. Oh, it's got a fruit on it. Oh my gosh, look at all this fruit stuff. Like, I thought it was going to be a challenge, but it has been so much fun to source for. I'm not lying. I'm like, oh gosh, this is going to be such a pain. Let me tell you, this is like one of the most fun things to source for. It is like, I'm having a blast. I'm like seeing stuff with like the fruits with like eyeballs on it. And then I'm looking at other stuff that doesn't have eyeballs on it. And I'm like, where are my googly eyes? Because I'm putting eyeballs on all this stuff so that I can sell it. So don't be surprised if when I go live for Tutti Frutti, everything has googly eyes on it, because I'm going to make it all anthropomorphic up in here. So Tutti Frutti is July 20th and 21st. And it is Moon Sky, our Niknax conductor, in conjunction with Stacy Pixie Sticks. She is our honorary conductor of the train. So they are both doing that train, which is very, very fun. And they brought that over from whatnot. they're like, okay, well, let's run it on Niknax. So that makes me very happy that we are now the home of the Tutti Frutti. And I think it's going to be awesome. I'm super stoked. Super stoked. All right. So our holiday mixer train is also in July. That is July 26th, 27th, and 28th. So we extended it one day because the posting of the schedules got mixed up. So we added a day to it. So if you are not able to do one day, and we can see if you can swap out days or whatever. If your time slot doesn't work for you, we can work on that. So it is the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Now, the thing about the holiday mixer is you can either choose all the holidays. If you're having a hard time sourcing for just one holiday, you can pick one or all. It's totally up to you. That is your decision. You can kind of like the color train. Totally up to you. Yes, we are going to do a repeat of the paperweight train in November. So be stashing away those paperweights. Stashing them away. Okay, so August 24th and 25th is going to be another big event similar to the paperweight train. It's going to be big. I'm not ready to announce it yet, though, so you guys are gonna have to wait until next coffee chat. But it's going to be similar to the scope of the paperweight train, and I'm very excited for it. I just have to work out a few more details and make sure that I have them nailed down before we make the announcement. But it's going to be big. It's going to be exciting. I hope everyone is excited for it. Christina had it in her notes, and I started reading it, and I was like, I should probably get more details worked out before we make any huge announcements. But I'll probably announce it next Tuesday. Make sure I have everything nailed down. We're bringing other people into the whole thing, so I have to make sure that everybody's on board. We've got everybody ready for it, and it's going to be really fun. Oh, it does. It says, I didn't read that part. I read a little bit at a time, Christina. It literally says on her notes, event will be announced next coffee chat. We're thinking the same. She's got this. Okay. Reminders and kudos is the next line in the coffee chat. Community watch. This is huge. I want to thank everyone who keeps an eye out in the marketplace. Obviously, we're growing at a huge rate, and it was so easy when we were just blossoming. It was easy. I know that's the ADHD. It was so easy when we were just blossoming to keep an eye on things, and be able to be in every live sale and see everything that's happening, and know oh, okay, this person is being naughty and this person is amazing, and so it's easy for us to keep an eye on everything, and it's getting harder and harder to do that. Obviously, we've added our moderators, we have our admins, and we try to keep an eye on everything. But if you see something that just doesn't sit right with you, if you see somebody being rude in a live sale, if you see somebody being mean, if you see somebody bullying, if you get a message from somebody that's, rude or mean or bullying, please screenshot it and send it to an admin. I take it very seriously. I don't like that on Niknax. And I do send out messages. I personally, from me, district has offered to send out these warnings, but since it's my marketplace, I feel like it's my place to send out messages, even though I hate doing it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had 2 issues I had to follow up on, and then there was another issue, and I was with the admin team, I was guys, I met my quota for the week. I sent out 2 messages that I didn't want to send, and it'll just have to wait till next week because I'm not sending out any more messages I don't want to send. So if you see something that just doesn't seem right, please send us, even if we don't act on it, it's nice to be aware of, if we have somebody in the marketplace who is, being rude, or it's because you know what, if you're a live seller and you are selling live and you are doing your best to, put on your best face and be positive and be excited and be happy about the things you're selling, and you have somebody come into your sale and they are being rude and they are being a downer and they are throwing off your game, it can affect you. And so it's important for us to know who these people are that are going into the live sales and dragging somebody down, because those aren't people that we need in the marketplace. And if they continue, I have a 3-strike rule. I have a 3-strike rule with my kids, and I do the same here on Niknax. It's a 3-strike rule. So if they are repeat offenders and I see it happening over and over again, I will take action on it. So, but the only way I can do that is if I see, is if I have screenshots, because I won't do that unless I have, okay, here's the proof in front of me. And that's one thing that I won't act on something unless I have the proof. Like if somebody says, oh, so-and-so did this, it's not enough for me. I need to have it in front of me. I need to know this is what happened. It's right here. This is the screenshot. So take screenshots when you can. Even if we have 7 people sending us the same screenshot, it's better than not having a screenshot at all. Also, if you see, all of that being said, even if you see someone being super kind, super supportive, I want those screenshots as well, because I feel like people like that need to be recognized in Niknax, because we do have people who, show up and are so supportive all the time. And I don't want to see just the negative stuff. So if you see people like that, like, oh my gosh, look at this by this, or look what this person did, I feel like that's also worth recognition. So if you want to send me those screenshots as well, that would be awesome. So there you go. So that's that chat. Double booking on trains. We talked a little bit about that. Help support. We talked a little bit about that. When you are doing intros or telling people about Niknax in your live sales, don't forget our more traditional sellers. Hey, if you're here watching the live sale, don't forget that there are over 61,000 listings here on Niknax. We have a lot of sellers with buy it now listings and auctions. Yes, April. I know, April. April definitely gets recognition. April deserves a trophy. So if you're live, don't forget to shout out our more traditional sellers. I think sometimes, we're so focused on live sales that we have tunnel vision. But remember, we have sellers who just, they're not into going live. They're afraid of going live. They, B-Rob. Yes. Bandit. Yes. Yeah, you guys know, Bug. Vic. Yep. So yeah, so even when you're ending your sale, just be like, hey, don't forget, because we could have somebody new just on Niknax checking out your sale. They might not know that we have that many listings. They might not be familiar with Niknax. Think of that every time you go live. Think about the fact that we could have somebody introduced to Niknax. Your live is the first live they go into, and what are you going to tell them about Niknax? So think about that when you do your intro and your outro. Like somebody is just getting onto Niknax. Your live sale is the very first live they're watching, and go from there. Always introduce yourself, remind people to follow, all the things. Ways to stay updated on Niknax. I know a lot of people don't watch my coffee chat. I don't know why. It's important. Don't know why. Even if you just re-listen to it, you can always listen to the coffee chat. You can just be chilling in your car, put it on play, and then listen. I mean, you don't really have to be watching me to listen to it, but there's a lot of really valuable information in the coffee chat, and it's only an hour.
And a lot of background noises too.
I've got like monkeys in my office. So I mean, it's good information. How do you re-listen? So the replays are on my YouTube. There are replays on Facebook, and if you go to the live streams tab on Niknax, let me show you where it is. So here, I'm gonna turn you guys around, and we're gonna go up here to live streams. And if you scroll all the way down, you start getting into the older. Look at these fun thumbnails. Look at that. Isn't that so fun? The color, look how colorful it is. But if you start getting down here, you get to the past. You get to the past. Now we're into the past. We've time traveled. And if you scroll down, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. We're still scrolling. It's down here somewhere. You're going to see coffee chats. It's just a coffee mug. And you'll know it's the coffee chat from the previous week. Oh my gosh. We have so many live sales happening. This is so exciting. I didn't realize I'd have to scroll this far. This isn't the one. It is coffee, but that's not the one. Here it is. We're getting, oh my goodness. Early birds. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is the thumbnail. So this was last week's coffee chat. You could click on that and then you will have, you know what we should do? We should create a new chat. Oh my gosh. We should create a new chat channel and just log all of the coffee chats. That's the thing. And then you could just go there and click. I think that's a thing. New chat channel. Let's talk about cleaning up the chat channels and then creating a new one. Because that was a lot of scrolling. And I would think we should even put the link to the YouTube coffee chat because I don't know how long they save the replays. And that way we can have an eternity of replays. So that was, I forgot how I got off on that tangent. Oh, that was one way that you guys can get information. There's the Gazette, which is geared towards the Niknax live events. You can go to the Niknax Gazette for all of your live updates. And there's an announcement tab for all of your announcements. And tags. I don't know what that means. Introduce the Niknax admins again. All right, let's introduce everybody again. In case you have not met our team. I feel like you're copy and pasting from previous weeks. I'm Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady. I am the founder of Niknax. I've founded Niknax. That is me. I am the decision maker here. I make big decisions. Boss lady, that's correct. And then we have Mary. Mary is like the all-seeing admin of the marketplace. She does a lot of the answering of questions, the guiding people. She's the support. She's helping everybody with questions, making sure people know where to find information. If you have a question, chances are Mary's going to be on it like that. Mary, yes, Mary, and Merryweather Market is her username. You can see her right there with giving the peace sign. She is the admin ninja. Yes, she is. So that is Mary. Moon Sky Christina is our events coordinator, our conductor. She conducts all of our Niknax sponsored events. So all of our upcoming events, Christina is the one who coordinates all of those. She makes sure that everybody knows what they're doing. She makes sure that everyone is signed up for their time slot and that they're going to show up and that they have the thumbnail and that the spreadsheets are all good. And she does all of that, everything related to the Niknax events.
And I'm the bouncer / ban hammer, so don't get on my bad side.
So Christina is Moonsky Vintage. Logan of Logan's Book Calvary. He is our quality control. So if you have a listing out there that is not what you say it is, you will receive a message from our Niknax quality control, and it will tell you that, hey, your listing is incorrect. Please make sure that you update your listing. And that is Logan. Logan handles that. Yes, he not really the enforcement. I mean, it's never meant as a bad thing. It's meant to help people learn and grow and educate themselves on things. So it's never meant as like a bad thing to be like, hey, this listing is incorrect. Please do a little bit more research or post it in the ID Me chat. And Logan is in the ID Me chat, and he's usually there to help guide you in the right direction of research. So that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to remember too, like if you're the customer, do you want to buy an item that's misrepresented, whether it's intentional or accidental, and get it and be disappointed? So in turn, you don't want your customers to be disappointed. So it's good to have just somebody looking over things, going, "Hey, here's a suggestion. This is a little better than what you've got." And also too, it would probably be more helpful on your listings, because then your customers are going to know that there's honesty and integrity behind your listing.
Yeah, and that's our goal for Niknax entirely. We want Niknax to be well represented. I stopped buying from Whatnot for this exact reason. That's why when we started Niknax, I was like, this is very important to me. We need this. So right from the very beginning, this was very important to me, and I knew we needed something to make sure that and Logan was that something. Thank you, Logan.
You complete us.
You complete us. So we have Katie and Brandon, who are our marketing team, and they do a lot of the reels that you see posted around. Katie is usually in the chat. I don't know. Did I see Katie this morning? I've tried not to focus too much on the chat, because I knew that if I was looking at the chat, I wouldn't be focused on the notes. But Katie and Brandon do a lot of the social media posting and help behind the scenes doing that. They created the commercial that you see. That's Katie in the commercial. Everyone's like, who's that? I'm like, that's Katie. Yeah, that's her in the commercial. Yep. Brandon's the one who filmed it. Katie's the one who acted in it. I don't think that's acting, though. I think she was really that excited about all of the things. So that's Katie. Yes. So when you see Katie Neese, now you can put a face to the name in the chat. So, and then of course we have our moderators, and the moderator role right now is marketplace wide. So we can't select moderators for just our live show. So when I chose moderators, I chose people that I know and trust. We have Sandy, My Flippin' Van Life. We have Stacy, Pixie Sticks, and Peter Sy. So those are our moderators for the time being, because they're active on the marketplace and they're in the sales and stuff. And I wanted people who I knew were going to be popping in and keeping an eye on things. So that doesn't mean our moderator team won't grow, but that's who we have at the moment, just to make sure that when things do happen, when rude things do pop up, we're able to deal with them. So yeah. And they are super kind. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. This is a good one. All right. So Christina says, we want to hear your response to this. What has made you laugh out loud or smile really hard when engaging on Niknax? What just made you laugh out loud? Something you've seen on Niknax. I mean, for me, it was seeing my fly open on my sale on Wednesday, because that definitely made me laugh out loud. I was like, oh my gosh. Andrew.
I've had that happen. I'm just glad it's never happened when I was not wearing underwear or something, because that would have been bad.
Yeah, I know. That was priceless. That's going to go down in history, I feel like. My husband burping during live. That was really good, Mary. That one made me laugh out loud.
I'll have to remember to do that next time you're having a live sale. Just walk through and just belch and rip one out for you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Saying vibrate. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, now you guys got me laughing. All right, well, I'm going to turn you around really quick. And we're going to just check out the upcoming events in addition to our Niknax sponsored events, because obviously we've got lots happening on Niknax. You know, I was talking to Christina and she was over on Whatnot, and you know,
When aren't you talking to Christina?
I know it's bad. I mean, it's good, but it's like all the time. But one thing we've been made aware of is, you know, that we are aware of, there's no weekly trains on Whatnot. It's a Niknax thing. We have weekly trains, and I think that's so awesome that our community feels so at home that we have these weekly trains. I think that's amazing. I think that's so cool. Yes, the commercial does play as part of my YouTube video, but it's also a sponsored ad. So if you guys do see it as a sponsored ad, let me know, because I am paying for that. So I'm hoping that people are seeing it elsewhere. I put it at the end of my videos because Whatnot was playing their sponsored ad on my videos. And so I started putting my Niknax ad at the end of my videos. I was like, oh, that's dumb. So I started putting Niknax at the end of my videos. And then I started sponsoring the Niknax commercial to kind of compete with that. So, you know, I'm like, oh, well, if they're going to sponsor their commercials, I'm going to sponsor our commercial. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So anyway, here we have the June schedule. So obviously we're coming up on this Fast Friday freight color train, and then we have the carnival, and then Jingle All the Way is going to be really fun. This is happening. Sorry guys, you can access this calendar. There is a calendar of events in the chat channel. We have Jingle All the Way, which is going to be really cool, almost all the way. So this is like a Christmas themed sale, I would imagine. That's going to be really great. Manic Monday, which is a new Monday train. So it's a Monday event, and it started last night, which was really great. The Groovy train happens on Tuesday, jewelry on Wednesday. What is the Wednesday early bird train? Oh, we don't have that on here, do we? Yeah, we need to add Wednesday early bird train. And then we have the Handmade Market on the 28th, and red, white, and blue train. Oh, we have a red, white, and blue train by Journey. There you go. Jeannie Bird Vintage is having a red, white, and blue train on the 29th. Darn, I wish I hadn't sold all my red, white, and blue. I could have hopped on that. So there's going to be a red, white, and blue on the 29th, which will be wonderful in time for 4th of July. Canada Day Train by Vintiquity is happening on the 1st of July. Glass Locomotive. Jenny K does the Glass Train the first weekend of the month. So that's happening on the 6th of July. There you go. All American made items and red, white, and blue. So that'll be cool. And then we have Glass Locomotive, Manic Monday. So check out the calendar of events because if you've noticed on Niknax, the live stream tabs, I think we only have 100 of the upcoming sales. So I think there's only 100 here that are upcoming. So that's why I always refer you guys to the calendar of events, which is right here. And it's a link, so it's like a Google sheet, but the calendar of events will tell you everything that's coming up because the live streams tab is only the upcoming 100. And we have so many live sales happening. This is my next sale, Under the Sea sale. It's like, you know, seashell under the sea sale. It was really fun to make that thumbnail. Anyway, so if you scroll all the way down, this is as far as it goes. So that's just into this weekend. That's just to the 22nd. And you think like we've got so much more on the calendar. That's wild. So keep that in mind. So that's why I always refer everybody to that calendar of events so you can know what's coming up and what's going on. Oh, thank you. I enjoy making the thumbnails. I like making thumbnails. So I think that's all in our note, right? Calendar of events. I think that was the last note. Oh, the last note, as always, this is always the last note. The last note is to practice kindness. And I think that's very important. To always be kind when you're on Niknax. I mean, it goes in life in general. You should always be kind. But please be kind when you're on Niknax. I know I don't really need to tell you guys that. Everyone is always so supportive. The community is so amazing here. I've told you guys a million times, I wish that I could just like bottle it all up and keep it this way forever and ever, because it's just so amazing. I love the feels that everybody gets from being here. I think it's a huge change from what people are used to being elsewhere. Yes, the bid button. I actually brought that up last night. I had 3 cancellations after my sale last night, and I had another cancellation. So I brought that up last night. I texted them after my sale, and I was like, this needs to be fixed. We need to fix this because it's really discouraging. And like, I'm not like, it is what it is. I'm not, unfortunately it happens. I've done it myself, but it is really discouraging, to get cancellations. So I did reach out to them. I told them we need to fix this. This needs to be a priority. So I have a meeting with them. My meeting got pushed out till tomorrow. So hopefully we can work on getting that fixed. And I'm going to stress now going forward, this is a priority. Like, this has to be a priority. We can't let this go any longer, because it's a big deal, especially when you have like big cancellations, so you can't find the calendar. So if you go to, Christina, is the calendar only, hang on, calendar of events. Oh, it's, hang on. There you go. It was set to sellers only. I switched it over to everybody. So if you refresh, you should be able to see it. Although I don't know if we should keep it to members only. So some of the other, so we've been copied on other marketplaces. So that's why I think it was sellers only. So maybe I should keep it on sellers only. I don't know. I had to think about that. I have to think about that now. We've just noticed that there's been some copying. And so now we've kind of locked stuff down a little bit. And so I have to think about that. All right. So I think that's really it. Oh, Sienna just updated my tags. Fantastic. So that means I will be working on getting those color tags fixed for you guys. And we will have that hopefully done by tonight when I do my announcement. And I'm going to hop over to Mainly Made, and I'm going to do a coffee chat over there next. Android is coming. When I know about Android, I will let you guys know about Android for sure. But we're going to do a raid. Who am I raiding? Oh, Scottish Anne. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. All right, so we're going to raid over into Scottish Anne. Everybody say hi. And make sure you follow when you get over there, okay? So let's head over. And I will maybe see you guys over in Mainly Made, but it's just going to be a chat that you can rewatch. So go show Scottish Anne some support. And here we go.